Hey there, Crypto Gal is back. I hope you guys have been missing me as much as I've been missing you. So let's just cut right down to the chase. I'm not your financial advisor. I'm just here to share what I've been seeing, watching out on the markets, especially in the last 6 months since it kind of vanished out there. But don't hesitate. I have still been doing my read and research, which is my number one thing to make sure I establish that to you. Do your own read and research because this is about you and the values of what your money is and where you need it to be and where it needs to be laid for you to make your best investment. Now, let's jumping right into it. Let's take a look. We're going to step back just a little bit, get our feet a little wet, kind of look at the market. I'm going to focus here on getting back into the trends of Bitcoin. The market of Bitcoin today, let's start out with the definition of Bitcoin for our newcomers that are coming into cryptocurrency still. I always like to be able to take care of the newbies because they always seem to get shuffled to the side because everybody is growing so fast in this volatile market. Some people still just do not know what to do with their particular investment. So I want to make sure we keep this created, and I will always do that. If you guys ever need to reach out to me, I'm out here on social media as well as Telegram, Instagram, Facebook, as well as LinkedIn and on Twitter. So my information's there. I have all my information status quo for you guys. Just reach out, send me an email. If there's something specific you want me to talk about as well online, please send it as well. I'm happy to do so. I love doing the research on this. This market is so enticing to me. It's easier than what I have to do with the stock markets of things because I get so frustrated with that because the stock markets, they don't exactly tell you everything and you have to pay so many different fees and differentiations of your money, and you don't know what your advisor is going to do with it, and you're paying him to work your money when you can work your own. All right, so here we go. Let's talk about it. Bitcoin. It is a peer-to-peer online currency, meaning that all transactions, not just what the hell your centralized bank wants you to do. You can deposit, you can wire transfer, you can pull money from your bank, you can establish different accounts. Those are all fee related. It's so frustrating when you have this fee, you have that fee, you have this fee, you have that. I can't stand the fees. Why are you charging me when you're supposed to be taking care of my money? Okay, so with these transactions, that's what I mean by any transaction that you want. It's happening. It directly becomes the independent network participant without the need for any intermediary to permit to facilitate any of your monies transferring anywhere, and with minimal fees, some none at all. Bitcoin was created to allow online payments to be sent directly from one party to another without going through any financial institution. Some of these concepts were a similar type of a decentralized electronic currency to precede Bitcoin, but Bitcoin holds the granddaddy of it all, of being the first ever cryptocurrency to come into actual use. Okay, so let's keep going on with this into a better value. Keeping up with the flow of what Bitcoin's doing. Though in the last few days, we have seen a mix of Bitcoin entering and exiting with all the exchanges, as the weekly data revealed across globally that overall the King coin has been disappearing into several different wallets. What do I mean by this? These wallets are people that are doing the short term. They're not holding out for the long term, and versus what happened back in 2016 and 2017 to better your value of your interest. Some of these deep pocket wells, we're going to talk about that a little bit. What exactly are the investors looking for and where their margins are going? Of course, this flow lays into a better existence that has the last few days has seen with Bitcoin's entering and exiting to be an alarming factor of this. Data shows that net outflows were about $229.9 million, even though more than $6 billion both entered and exited as the different exchanges within a 7-day period. And you guys, if y'all know me or are going to get to know me, I always establish that, and we'll get to the charts in just a minute to be able to show you what I do with a 7-day versus a 30-day. A lot of my friends, a lot of my coworkers, a lot of people that I talk about with cryptocurrency, they all like to do that 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour, 4 hour. I kind of like seeing the margins of where I'm expanding because you've got global time. To me, the market is out there 24/7 and it's on a clock 24/7. It's not like the stock markets where you have a bell that dings at 4:38 in the afternoon and you're done for the day. And then you have the night crew come in and then they're establishing your money values. So to get a better value of what the King's price is and its seeming inabilities is moving past this 45K, which was a derivative of what we had last December. Now we're working really hard to establish this where our margins are going to be carrying forward and looking at it. I look at it from an candle indicator. As the candles are roughly parallel, signaling that sudden spikes might not be in the cards for the deep well investor, the candles are approaching on a lower side. This side can assist with the might soon be that is stating to be oversold. How can you oversell a Bitcoin, which I read on Decrypt this morning, and I'm like, how can you be oversold in a cryptocurrency that is open to a global market 24/7? So it tends to lean into me as a retracement, and let's go back to the studies of that. Those that are new to this, retracement, it refers to the temporary reversal of an overarching trend in the stock prices. So if we have $1 here and we start seeing an indicator, it goes up, and then we see an indicator, it goes down, up, down, up, down. They're screaming out, buy on the dip, buy on the dip. Sometimes I don't buy on the dip. Sometimes I'm buying in that movement, okay? This stock price is distinct from a reversal to a retracement, is the short-term periods of movements against a trend followed by a return on the previous trend. So to me, when that 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, okay, they're buying on the dip, and let's say 7 days after that, I'm seeing this same effect. This is why I stretch out my times this way, to be able to look at what this investment's doing, because I am definitely not a short-term investor. And let me sell you on this real quick. I am going to pitch this one. If you are looking for a fast exchange of value and money, cryptocurrency is not that. This is still a growing market, so you have to reestablish yourself mentally, and you have to focus on the long term. Several of your deep pocket whales that are involved, and let's just say the American stock market, they are deep pocketed for a reason, because they have been doing this for over 30 years and they haven't touched some of that money. They would flow with it, doing APIs, reinvesting, doing share exchanges, and creating a shorter term limit. But they're not in it for, okay, I'm going to invest $1,000 today, I'm going to make 3,000, so I'll take out my 2,000, I'm only at a loss of 1,000, and then I'm out of it. I'll watch the market again, and then I'll get back into it. That's not how you can really visualize cryptocurrency when it's made for this. So be careful if you're the short term. I'm just saying, really try to focus on this the long term. Another little retracement on part on this is you have to realize any government on the face of this earth has been partaking in the blockchain of what's been going on and using these different studies of better values to have an interest for their monies with the centralized banks. So don't sell yourself short when the government says, oh, we've never done this. Well, there's a lot of things that they tell you they've never done and they've done. So it's like the mouse that comes out at night and you don't think he's eating the cheese, but yet there's little speckles of it all the way back to his little rat hole. Okay, so to me, the idea of this volatile market in movement of any stock really allows to look at the movement, hence the factor of the 7-day and the 30-day. So what we're going to do is, let me go over here and let me share my screen and show you guys what I am talking about. Here we go. Okay, so this is looking at coin market, and the reason why I have the statistics pulled up, I'm gonna do a quick retrace. Let's just see what a refresh might do. Okay, so yes, correctly enough, we are now at this retracement move of what I was just talking about. Price is 40,000, so it's already taken its shift into its monetary value going into it. Price change over in 24 hours is $2,093. Its high was at 43. So overnight, depending on the time where you are, and if you're on the other side of the world during the day, you're seeing this retracement movement. This is that up, down, up, down, up, down that I was just describing to you guys about. So when you look at these different values of what the market holds into these factors, this is where I look at it. This is looking at it in a 7-day factor of a week's time link. When you're paying attention to, I'm going to go ahead and get into my candles because I like really talking to candles. Let's hopefully to give it to me. When you're looking at this in better value terms, it is definitely showing what's happening here with the markets in benign. So you can see where we're in the green markets, looking at it from 1 day of counseling. So let's go into our clock. And let's move this over to 1 week. Okay, here we are. We're at our 40,563. This market value has taken an extra strength of the overcome, where you can see these indicators have laid their self down to rest. Now, we can't really count today because we're still working in the day. Do I think you see some of the movements with these? No, I don't. I always like to look at a completion after what the stock market does. So at that 4:38 ding of the stock market bell, then I'm back on here just to see what it's going to do and playing into the night. At that 3 or 4 a.m. Central Standard Time, I'm totally looking over it in the markets of what's going on in China and Japan because they're doing their defaults. As you can see, these huge dips play into these factors. So here's one indicator, which we're taking off in a 24-hour period. Here's 2, and then here is 3. You can see this range of motion of where we closed at it and where we opened with it. So looking at this, you are still having what I just described to y'all as this retracement. And this is why I tend to lean to say this is where we're going with these different markets. Do I feel as though that we're going to see different establishments with this, with Bitcoin happening? I think we are. So I think this is going to play a good measure of time. Like I say, if you're in it for the short term, just don't. You're going to stress yourself out. And I would hate to see you have to go to the hospital and get on blood pressure medicine. I don't have it, refuse to do it. But it is my monetary value and it is what I can claim for myself. So this is me, your crypto gal. I am back. I'm not going to leave you guys stranded. Sorry I had to have a disappearing act, but I am back. Love and life. Crypto space is here for you. It's only going to continue its role. We're still in a recovery effect of what happened last December through March. We didn't know what, to me, what the feds were going to do. And since they're making complete fools of themselves, going in a bouncing factor of bonds versus their treasury yields, knowing what our children, my children being 30 or below, are going to have to pay out, that even at my age as an older woman, what I'm already having to pay out that happened back in 2008, and we're still paying out the yang. So saying that in a nice political perspective, which I hate getting into politics, but things just underlie in that factor when it comes to financial decisions, sadly mistaken. But I really enjoy the perspectives of knowing where my money is, what I'm investing with it, and what's it going to do for me, as well as all of the other 10,000 coins that we have out there, as well as multiplying more. Do your reading research, stay on top of things, note to yourself to make sure you follow me again. I promise you guys, I will be here. It won't be every day, but I will pop in and out just to make sure we are on top of things. Also, I'm talking about the commodities markets. I've been doing a lot of research for the last 6 months in regards to gold IRAs. That's right, taking a commodity of gold and turning it into an IRA where you can get the stipulations of your values and money. So stay tuned, stay with me. Crypto Gal here, signing out, and I will talk to you guys soon. Thanks for participating. Look forward to getting some more marketing values with you. Stay tight, hodl strong, make sure it's your money. Ciao.